Pretty much every culture has one. It's some kind of hand pie, a pocket of meat or vegetables. It's something encased in pastry. We're gonna do a curried chicken. So first thing that we do, we're gonna get out some puff pastry. We're gonna let it thaw out because it takes a little bit of time, so. About a half an hour, we're just gonna let it hang out there. I've got my chicken thighs, and again, we use chicken thighs instead of chicken breasts because chicken thighs don't dry out when you cook them. Chicken thighs are amazing. I've also got my cutting board. This is the one with a little moat around it, and I've got paper towel. We want to catch all of the liquid off of this because chicken, Kia roast, man. We're just gonna pat that dry. We're gonna trim out a little bit of the fat, so. And we wanna cut these up into relatively small, bite-sized pieces. We want every mouthful to have some chicken in it. Holy catfish, this is way more than I thought I was gonna be doing. All right, so we've got a lot of meat here. You can see that it's relatively small pieces and definitely not uniform in size. All of that is going to go into this bowl. And I've pre-portioned out so I can touch it with sticky, gross, yucky, chicken-laden fingers. 2 tablespoons of a yellow Vietnamese curry powder. You can use 1 tablespoon, you can use 2 tablespoons, you can use as many tablespoons as you want. How hot do you like it? We're gonna let that rest for just a second while I wash up. So mostly I clean as I go. I cover this, gonna put this into the fridge, and we're gonna give the pastry a check. Hey, it's moving, okay. Let's put it on parchment paper. Let's get it out of the way. That's my out of the way space. Let's do some vegetables. Now I've cleaned this knife like I relish cleaning knives. This is my favorite thing in the world to do. So you want this to be clean, guys, please. Because we're using it again. Twister knows the sound of a carrot peeler, and she knows that's what happens. Same with the onion. Do I scare other chefs on these channels with my knife skills? Almost certainly. Have I cut myself with my own knife? Not often. For how much I cook, I actually do it very little. Onions, I'm blind. Onions. I've got glasses on, I can't rub them. Garlic. We don't need a paste, but I do want it to be relatively small. I also love fresh ginger. Okay, let's clean up. So I've got my stove turned on. Pretty good drizzle of olive oil in there. A lot of people say, Matt, why don't you just post your recipes right here so I can just read them? You know what? I want you to take some time. I want you to go to the website. It's right here. All the ingredients, all the utensils, check it out. Enjoy yourself. It's a slow, wonderful relaxation moment for you. All right, let's cook some chicken. Again, it smells amazing. That curry is really opening up. All right, this is great. Let's take it off the burner. In the same oils, we're gonna add in our weirdly shaped carrots and our onions. You'll notice I have not added salt or anything else like that yet. We will. We just want everything to blend first, and then I'll add salt towards the end. I want to taste the flavors, then we'll add salt. Punch it up. Once that's cooked down a little bit, we'll add in the ginger and garlic. This is unsweetened coconut milk. This will only take a few minutes. It'll start bubbling in the middle. It's bubbling around the outside just a little bit already. Let it cook. This has got a good gentle simmer on it. We want to reduce the liquid a little bit because this is going to be our gravy within the meat pie, and that makes it delicious. So we'll be right back. Now taste it for seasoning. And yep, it needs salt. And you taste. Perfect. No more. Taking it off the heat. I'm going to put it into a larger bowl. I'm going to let it cool down. I want it to cool down fairly rapidly so I can start making the pastries. We can start the pies. I want to roll this as rectangular. And evenly as possible. But that looks pretty good, okay? I want about 1/8 of an inch thick because it does puff up quite a bit. Now you're gonna decide how big you want your hand pies to be. I want it to be about half of this. So I want them to be about that big. So guess what I'm gonna do? Guess what I'm gonna do? So what do you do with all this excess? I'm gonna cut smaller circles. And then I can choose what to do with these small ones. I can do either small hand pies for the meat, or more likely, I'm gonna make little dessert pies. So let's put them off to the side for the moment. So first thing I'm gonna do is brush the edges with some egg wash. This helps keep it sealed, which you will see in a little while becomes important. With that done, again, since this stains worse than anything, we're gonna be careful. How much to put on? Well, I don't know. So we're gonna be judicious with it. It's not a lot, actually. Okay, that looks like a good amount. We're gonna test it. Give it the old testaroonie here. I'm gonna seal this one away from the camera so you can't tell what I'm doing. So there. Yeah, that's too much. Curses! Sacre bleu. That one's a little less gooey. Tighten it up. That's the best one so far. Liberally brush with egg. This makes it really beautifully golden brown. Okay. Now, pierce it. I'm going to try and slide this just right off onto the pan. So right now we've got that set for 400. I'm going to leave them in there for about 15 minutes. Then we'll check them, see what they need, probably flip them around. In the meantime, same thing. Let's brush these on the edges. I've made a little filling with some berries, a little bit of jam to sweeten it up, and a touch of flour to thicken it up. Maybe, I'll put it, I'm going to put the recipe for this, ingredients, the utensils are already on there. Same utensils. Same sort of thing. More egg wash. That's ready to go in the oven. The moment of truth. You can use a fork and a knife, but this is a hand pie. Ergo, This has a pastry that has puffed up a lot. You can see it in this one really well. It has puffed up, and it was just an 1/8 of an inch thick. Because of the butter inside, it explodes. But the gravy, it's moist. It's got just a luscious, spicy flavor. It tastes like curry. This is exactly what you want. This reminds me of a little pub in England. Serve it with some chips, French fries, and it'd be perfect. So, okay. I wanted to show you one of these also. Again, really puffed up, really beautiful. Really crispy, flaky. Now you can see the jam on the inside, the berries. It's got a really sweet flavor to it. Super. Yeah, this is like, well, it's like a little pie right here in your hand. Funny how they call it that. This is Matt. This is Big Food from a Tiny Kitchen. I really hope you like this one. Super easy, but I'm going to warn you, you'll want to clean up as you go. It makes your life a lot easier. Thanks. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.